Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes Philadelphia, a team that started the year, as everyone remembers, 3-0. Carson Wentz is so hot to start the season, fading a little bit toward the end, but I think Doug Peterson knows this is his guy in 2017.
Amazing how the whole thing began. They were talking about him not playing at all this year. They wanted him to kind of have that so-called redshirt year. Instead, he was the starter from game 1. He's had his ups and downs, but I'm with you on this one. Doug Peterson, the head coach, the entire Philadelphia Eagles organization, they know they have their quarterback for the future.
And I want to know, Week 15, did you like them going for 2 in the win?
Absolutely loved it. This was a team that was sliding. They were on the road. Go ahead and try and get a win and spark your team. Don't worry about trying to get to overtime.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On the ground, the first carry for Ryan Matthews. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Morris Claiborne is a former first-round pick at cornerback with skills that can match up with anyone when he's at his best.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Check 43. Set. Green 39. Green.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And that is incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And it's 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So on 4th down, here's the veteran left-footed punter Donnie Jones to kick it away. Lucky Whitehead back deep for Dallas. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
Let's go. 1-9. Ohio.
Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Looking back at Week 15 for Witten, 10 catches, which was a season high, moved him past Terrell Owens into 7th place on the all-time receptions list.
And how about how Dallas just moves the ball around, Brandon? I mean, Jason Witten had 10 catches in this game. He's had games this year where he hasn't caught very many passes, but I think he's heating up as they get closer to the playoffs. And let's face it, for any young quarterback, a big-time tight end is almost always going to be his best friend.
And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Charles, pretty obvious that at this point, Zeke, he's going to, no pun intended, run away with a rushing title this season.
Seriously, did you just say no pun intended?
Everyone always says it's not intended, but it's always intended. It was intended.
It's intended. It's just like when someone says no disrespect. Prepare to be disrespected.
Right, yeah.
You know it's coming.
All right, I intended the pun, dude.
You intended the pun. 159 yards and a touchdown. How great was Zeke in that game, setting everything up for Dallas, taking on the big carries, and carrying them home to a victory against Tampa Bay.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Second down, Prescott. Completes it to Jason Witten. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the 1st quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Prescott now from the 50. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
So we've reached the end of a fairly even 1st quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the 2nd quarter has in store. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Prescott now. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now offensively, Philadelphia coming back out. Earlier we discussed Carson Wentz in the quarterback position, but, you know, unless something changes drastically, Philadelphia is going to end this year without a 1,000-yard rusher and without a 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah, and they want to make sure they really work on their offensive line. They've had a few injuries there and had to shift some guys around. They had a guy that they lost earlier in the season. It was a big part of what they do. And they also want to make sure that they have a running back that can stay healthy. And you know that that's not easily done in this league. But Ryan Matthews, if he does stay healthy, he's always a candidate to break 1,000 yards. Remember those days of LaShawn McCoy and Jeremy Maclin both going over 1,300 yards? They're looking for that again.
Yeah, 2014, both of those guys over 1,000. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
This will be fielded at the 17. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. It's a gain of 21 that time. And that leads to a Dallas 1st down. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
From the red zone now, Prescott. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Eagles trail right now, but with another half to play, there's time to turn it around. The Cowboys came in prepared for this game, and it shows in the way they've played. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
A first down throw for Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. Prescott on first down. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Simple slant route and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
First down, Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tyrone Crawford in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on third down.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Wentz on third down. Goes underneath for Sproles. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a backbreaking first down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, Most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here now we look at Jason Witten. And he's proving again why tight ends can be so valuable in this league. He's over 150 yards.
They just continually create mismatches because of their body frame, their athletic ability. You put a little guy on them, a small corner, they can often overpower them. You put a bigger linebacker on them, they'll run by them. You name it, they almost have the last move if this were a chess game. That's why they're so valuable.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. They go back to the air here after the INT. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
So many times when I've been working with you, you've talked about a quarterback dropping it in the bucket on a deep pass.
Oh, boy.
You know where I'm going, right?
I know where you're going.
Ezekiel dropped his body into the bucket. There was this charity bucket behind the end zone against Tampa Bay after scoring a touchdown. How cool was that?
I thought it was one of the greatest celebrations for a touchdown I've ever seen. And you know what? It's a good charity. Money going to feed families during the holiday season. And the numbers have shown that jump into the bucket has helped the bigger jump into the bucket to feed those families. So very cool.
Here we go. Brand 38.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Completes it to Jason Witten. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here we go. Flag round.
Prescott yet again. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Here we go.
A first down throw for Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Let's go.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Complete to Jason Witten. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That time, a 9-play drive. And the rookie Ezekiel Elliott able to finish it off with a touchdown run. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Wentz now on first down. Hurts over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time. All right, it's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete.
Holding. Defense.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a play fake here on first down. Going up top. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Morris Claiborne. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Holding. Defense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And the penalty now makes it 1st and 20. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is Hurts with it, right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Wentz now on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
What's left? What's left?
They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
Certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sink just wasn't there.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So you knew one way or another that you needed 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll need to get the ball back.
So, Brandon, the question is, how do you accomplish that? You can onside kick it, but remember, since you've got all 3 timeouts, you can still kick it deep and try to play defense.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Fresh set of downs here.
Here we go.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Elliott. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they? Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Now, that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
He's going to loft. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up. And they're down to 17 seconds now here after the spike. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. He'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time, and it's 3rd down.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play, came across, and knocked it away.
Back to throw. He's got time. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL.